This delicious caramel apple cake recipe is so easy to put together. It all starts as a shelf-stable pantry mix, and all you have to do is add water and bake. If you prefer, you can enjoy this as a glazed apple cake, or you can go all out and add the caramel topping. Either way, it's bound to be a fall favorite. Well, hi there, everyone. My name is Kareth. I'm a wife, a mom, an author, and a cook. On this channel, I like to create recipes using freeze-dried food. Sometimes it's completely shelf-stable, like a meal or a mix in a jar. Other times, I combine freeze-dried with fresh, but all the time, it's delicious. I'm here to help people who have freeze-dried food on their shelves to know how to cook with it. I test out recipes so you don't have to. Welcome to the Freeze-Dried Foodie. This recipe here is based on my DIY yellow cake recipe that I put up about a month or two ago. So it's basically that recipe with a couple of tweaks. I'm using some sour cream powder instead of instant milk powder. And then of course we've got the whole apple filling thing going on. I'll put up a list of the ingredients you'll need to make this cake on the screen here, and then I'll include the exact recipe with the measurements and everything in the description box below the video. You're going to need a couple of different jars for this recipe. So you'll need the Granny Smith apples, freeze-dried Granny Smith apples, and they come in slices from Thrivalist, so I put them in a baggie and kind of smashed them up so they're in just chunks there in bite-sized pieces. And I'm going to add to that some cinnamon. Give that little jar a shake, and then I lightly packed some brown sugar in that measuring cup. And what this is going to create here is just a jar that the apples can rehydrate in. They have to rehydrate before you put them into the cake batter, and this will ensure that it's rehydrating in some yummy, sweet, and flavorful sauce. All right, the second jar is just going to be a little jar for the glaze. So I've got powdered sugar and just a little pinch of salt. Depending on how much glaze you want is how big of a jar you use. On to the cake batter. So if you have seen my DIY yellow cake mix video, this is going to be very similar to what you saw there. And I'll link that video below because it's got a lot of extra instructions and I tell you why I do certain things in that video. And I might not include all of that in this video. So anyway, be sure and look at that one if you have questions as to why I do certain things. The first thing I like to do is make my sugar really, really fine. So I put the sugar in the food processor first and I process that until it's really fine. And then I add the rest of the dry ingredients. So I've got just all-purpose flour here, but what is really good is cake flour. And I don't have cake flour. So I'm making my own sort of by adding cornstarch to the all-purpose flour. That's just a little hack, a little bit of a trick for how to make homemade cake flour if you just don't have that on your pantry shelf. And then I'm going to include some other just basic cake recipe ingredients, including baking powder and salt. I'll get some scrambled egg mix here in just a minute because you need eggs in your cake. The butter powder that I add to this is really not for the fat. This is for flavor. So spray dried butter like this, this butter here from Thrivalist, it doesn't have a lot of fat in it, but the flavor's there, so I do like to include it. I'm going to use the scrambled egg mix from Thrivalist, and if you don't have that brand, you'll just need to include something that is the equivalent of 2 eggs. I'm gonna use some sour cream powder in this recipe because I had in my mind I was gonna make this taste a little bit more like a coffee cake, like a sour cream coffee cake almost. So I thought I'm gonna use sour cream instead of instant milk powder. I like the richness it brings. And of course we'll need some vanilla powder. That gives great flavor. And then I'm gonna use apple pie spice here in this cake mix. If you don't have it, you can kind of make your own using cinnamon, maybe some allspice, nutmeg, some ginger, or you could just use cinnamon. Pulse those dry ingredients, make sure everything's nice and combined, and now it's time to add the fat. And I prefer lard. This is a shelf-stable solid fat, and you can add it to your dry mix and it will remain shelf-stable. So I like the lard. I have heard that you can use shortening instead if you don't have the lard or don't want to use the lard. Give it a really good pulse and then let it process for maybe, 20 or 25 seconds, something like that. I stopped mine and gave it a little bit of a stir and then processed it for a little bit longer. And that's all there is to it. That right there is the cake mix. And this will stay shelf stable on your pantry shelf for 3 to 4 months. Just as long as your lard is good, it should stay good. And you can store this in a quart-sized jar. It will fit. I find it helps if you stop about halfway through, give your jar a little pat down, compact the ingredients in there a little bit, and then add the rest of it. And so that right there is basically, if you think about it, that's a spice cake mix. If you just want to make spice cake, you could probably add some additional spices, and then that would be all you need. If you enjoy cooking with freeze-dried foods, please consider owning my cookbooks. They're both available on Amazon in paperback and as a digital download on my website, thefreezedriedfoodie.com. I'll link to both below. If you own freeze-dried food and want to be able to cook delicious meals with it, then you'll love having my cookbooks. They're loaded with completely shelf-stable meals and mixes. And although I wrote the recipes with Thrive Life ingredients in mind, you can use any brand, including home freeze-dried foods. All right, back to the recipe. Whenever you're ready to make this mix, you'll want to start with the apple jar. And the reason is you have to rehydrate the apples. They need to be completely rehydrated before you add them to the batter. And I accomplish this by adding really hot tap water to that jar. You can see how it's dissolving that brown sugar right away, right? So I ended up adding somewhere about 2/3 of a cup of water to that jar. And you can see it seeping in there. And then you'll just want to give it a stir, set it to the side, and let that hydrate. And then go ahead and get out a large bowl, and in goes that cake mix. Oh yeah, by the way, be sure you preheated your oven because this all happens really fast. All right, now you're going to add some water to that cake mix. I think I added about 1/2 cup right there, and the original recipe calls for adding 1 cup of water to the cake batter. And the reason I held back a little bit on the liquid is because there's quite a bit of liquid that's going to get added with the apple filling when it goes in, and I just didn't want to do too much. Just added a 1/2 cup to start with, and then I'm going to add another 1/4 cup right here. And this is hot water. And the reason you add hot water is because it will help to melt the lard that's in the cake mix, and that'll give you a really nice cake batter. So using a hand mixer is the way to go here because it helps to incorporate some air, and it helps to make this batter really light and fluffy, and it won't be dense. All right, so after about 10 minutes and after my oven had preheated, then I went ahead and gave this apple mixture a stir. You just want to make sure that you wait long enough for the apples to be completely rehydrated and refreshed. You don't want to put crunchy apples into the batter because they will just burn in the oven. So if they're completely refreshed and those apples are nice and soft, then you can add that apple mixture to your cake batter. For about 30 seconds or so, you'll want to keep it on low until everything's good and incorporated, and then you can increase your speed. You need to mix this for about a minute or so. You're wanting to incorporate air into this batter to make sure it's nice and light and fluffy. So isn't that beautiful? And y'all, it just smells so good. I think it's the spices in there. Now it's ready to add to your cake pan. Now all I have is a 9-inch square. I don't even have an 8-inch. You could do either one. You might have to cook it just a tad bit longer if you use an 8-inch square pan. But go ahead and add your batter to the pan and just be kind of careful. You can ooch it into the corners, but don't tap your pan on the counter because you don't want to pop any of the air bubbles that we've incorporated in there. And then you can go ahead and put that in your oven. You'll need to bake that at 325 for about 40-45 minutes. Meanwhile, you can make your glaze. So that right there is a 1/2 pint jar. And I just added a couple tablespoons of hot water there. And I had forgotten to add the instant milk powder earlier, so I just added a spoon of instant milk to that. So it'll make that as if you had added milk to your powdered sugar to make the glaze. Now, this is optional. You don't have to do this, but I do like to do it. I like to melt a couple tablespoons of butter and add that to the glaze. And y'all, I just didn't think it was enough glaze, so I ended up filling that jar with more powdered sugar and added a little bit more water just so I would have more glaze. All right, after about 45 minutes or so, you can do the toothpick test. And if it comes out clean, you can go ahead and add your glaze. You'll want to add it to the warm cake. It really soaks in nicely and it just creates a really moist, sweet layer on the top. After you get all of the glaze on there, you'll want to kind of just make sure it's completely covered. You want that top completely covered, and then just let it cool completely in the pan, maybe an hour or so. That parchment paper acted like a sleeve, so I just picked that up and put it on a board. Now it's ready to slice up and you can serve it. But isn't that gorgeous? So this is a glazed apple cake. This is what my husband prefers, okay? So I went ahead and cut this up. I did 9 pieces. You could do 16 or 4 or whatever you want to do. But this right here, this cake is amazing. It is so delicious. And like I said, this is what my husband prefers. I like it with the caramel topping. I'll show you that in a minute. But just look how moist she is. I hope you can see that apple in there. It's so good, y'all. The Tart Granny Smith apples here are amazing in this recipe. I just love them. And then the cake mix itself, it's a fantastic mix. And when you add the spice to it and the apples and the brown sugar, it just takes it over the top. This is a wonderful recipe to keep on your pantry shelf. And I'd also imagine this would be a great gift to give someone. I mean, it's a just add water apple cake. That's a nice gift. Here I am slicing into this cake. And do you see how bouncy and moist this cake is? It's just fantastic. I mean, over the top delicious. It's so convenient to have a cake mix on your pantry shelf. So having this in your pantry is going to be very similar to having any kind of a cake mix from the grocery store in your pantry, just ready and waiting for you. But the nice thing here is you just have to add water. Now, my cake mix obviously doesn't have emulsifiers in it. It doesn't have stabilizers in it. It's just kind of pure ingredients. So I would think you could store this on your pantry shelf for 3 to 4 months, maybe use it by then. All right, if you are interested in the caramel part of this caramel apple cake, all you have to do is get this. I got this ingredient at Walmart. It was by my sweet condensed milk at Walmart in the baking section, and it's so delicious. Now, you could also use other kinds of caramel topping here. I mean, Smucker's has an ice cream caramel topping that you could put on here. You could make your own. I'm just showing you this as an option because It doesn't have a lot of ingredients in this brand, and I like the flavor of it. It's really nice. So here's an option for you. You could store that in your pantry next to your cake mix jars. And y'all, it's so delicious. It's over the top good. All right. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really do appreciate you and your support. If you enjoy my recipes, please hit the like button and leave me a comment below. Even if it's just an apple emoji, that helps my channel. All right, guys, I have a scripture verse for you for today. It comes from the book of James, chapter 1, verses 2-4, and it reads, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking in anything." I hope that encourages your heart today. I hope you have a blessed day and a wonderful week. And until next time, y'all take care and keep thriving.